Hey y'all, Mel Bell here. This is for my fire signs for the month of March for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. I'm sorry, I feel the need to grab one of my heavy duty crystals. This is my very special tourmalinated quartz with a smoky quartz phantom inside. This is a very special piece of mine. I did pull cards initially to see what energy is presenting itself, and what I got is divine feminine energy representing you, but that somebody or some situation is wanting to overpower, diminish, change that energy that you are trying to embody. And there is a necessary need to shake things up. There is a need to unearth, dislodge some deeply held feelings. Now, this can be related to a relationship. It can be related to a family member or members. It can be work related. But there's somewhere in your life right now where disempowerment is causing you stress. And the challenge is that loving energy that you hold, that you naturally possess, being sullied by external influences. So it's really important right now that you make sure that you don't allow what is happening around you, who is interacting with you, to change your true nature. Don't come up out of yourself to respond to a situation or a person. There is the potential for a great new beginning, but there's also this this challenge of being focused on what was lost and not seeing what is found. So sometimes big change happens and we lose some things, and in the same moment that we're losing things, we are gaining something wonderful. And sometimes the loss has our whole focus, and we cannot look upon that other thing with joy because we are just overwhelmed by the loss. And I want to make it very clear that I'm not talking about death. I am talking about situations, relationships, things ending. And sometimes, that's a deep message. Being in a relationship with somebody and really wanting them to grow, and then they do grow, and then you are missing some toxic trait of theirs. That's deep. Because sometimes people can be very exciting when they are being not their best selves. And sometimes we have connected ourselves to people because of that, because we get a rush out of the drama, or it makes us feel better as people because we're doing better than they are. So it's definitely important to make sure that you are looking at yourself and making sure, again, that you are carrying yourself with the energy of the Empress, and that you do not allow situations or people to pull you out of this, because this is where your energy is. This is where your manifestation energy is. This is where abundance is. This is where creativity, bringing forth abundance is. And if you see, she has her wand, and her wand is creating this great bounty for her. Okay, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, make sure that you are standing firmly and grounded and who you are as a person. Now, as you see, the Empress is also pregnant. So this can be the birth of new ideas. This can also be a physical birth, a pregnancy, but it can also be a creative project, a new job. The fertility, that message comes through in many different ways. Doesn't always mean actual children. Could also be bringing in a new animal, a new pet. So I think sometimes that's overlooked for people who are choosing not to have children, or whose children have grown and you're not going to be welcoming new children. Sometimes it's a fur baby. It can be a connection with an animal. So all that said, interesting decks wanted to come out today to talk about, to add on to this March reading. There's definitely the ability for a bright new beginning to come through. Now, I think that sometimes there are consistent new beginnings, like things are changing, and they are changing over months and rapidly, and nothing seems to stabilize or want to stay still. But trust that this is leading to a better foundation, a stronger foundation. So any changes that are coming forth, although change is difficult and stressful, try to open yourself to the positive side of change. Okay. And you know, this is not easy for me because I don't do good with change, y'all. Interesting. Okay, so think I want, oops, wait a minute. There's 2 cards in there. Okay, I will honor that. They're stuck together. Interesting. Okay. Sarasvati. The arts. So interesting. We're talking about the Empress, and this is talking about creative energy. So it says express yourself through creative activities. And then Sedna, infinite supply. You are supported for today and all of your tomorrows. So sometimes things happen where you feel very afraid of the future and what a change is going to do. And that is a valid fear. The older you get and the more that you build and learn, the more you have to lose. And so it becomes more stressful. Like if you're not a young person, okay? If you're not a young person and you think about a time when things came very easily to you and you were a little more carefree, I think that maybe that's because back in the day, you got more grace, blessings, than you do now, because now you know better. You know better. So I think a lot of grace is used up on our young selves. Just to get us here. Just to get us here in this moment. Because sometimes, I tell you, man, there have been a number of times I should not be here where I'm at right now. Let me tell you that. So I feel that. I feel that message. Anyways, there is an aspect of you that is creative. And creativity doesn't show itself the same way. The creativity doesn't show itself the same way to everybody. So you can be creative with a spreadsheet. Like, you can be creative. There's so many different ways to welcome creativity into your life. You don't have to fit it into a box you don't fit into. You don't have to learn to paint. You don't have to learn to quilt. If it's your thing, if you love to knit, like knitting and doing quilting and stuff is super powerful, because you can go into a deep meditative state while you are doing that. I'm reminded of the movie The Mist of Avalon, and when they were doing their textiles and they were working the machine, they could go into a deep meditative state. They could leave their bodies and go do other things. It was very deep. And so that was a side note. It kind of went down a rabbit hole there. But the point is that it can be whatever you want to be passionate about, that you can create something. That is the point. It is the creative energy. It is not the artwork. It is not the song you create, unless that's your thing. So I'm not saying that's not great. I'm just saying that not everybody, when someone talks about drumming up creative energy, we forget to acknowledge that not everybody expresses creative energy the same way. And so to be inclusive of everybody, I am just saying that you can be creative in ways that are not often mentioned. Yeah, there is something special that happens when we are in that creative space, where it does free up our higher self to gather that energy. When you're creating something, it drums up this beautiful energy that is really great for manifestation and abundance. And regardless of what's changing in your life, just realize that there is enough to go around for everybody, okay? Sometimes it seems like that's not the case. Sometimes it seems like in order for you to do good, somebody else does bad, or vice versa, because so-and-so is getting this means I am going to not get anything. You are supported by a much bigger force than anything that's going on this planet, okay? And you will be provided for. And this interesting message came out, Isolt, which is undying love. The love you have shared is internal, regardless of the situation. So again, back to the romance relationships. Might not be romance, could be, but it is reminding you that regardless of where you end up in your relationships or situations with loved ones, that the love is still there, whether or not you need to back up off of them, whether you need to end something, whether you need to create something new. The actual love is still there, and keep that in mind. That doesn't get destroyed. Okay, let's see. We're making good time, so please hang in there with me for another 5 minutes. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius for the month of March. Let's see what else we got here. That deck with the goddesses is the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. This one is Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. Okay. All right, here we go. What do we got? Oops, this one. Definitely this one and this one. Okay, we got two. Nice. Okay. So we got the Web Weaver, Synchronicity, Divine Intelligence, Cause and Effect. Okay, so the future is being woven right now. There is a higher purpose to the things that are happening in your life right now. Some of it seems very earthly, very surface, very not spiritual, but everything that's happening right now is creating a bigger picture, is creating a bigger reality, and things sometimes have to fall apart to bring in that good stuff that wants to come in. And then there's the Spiral Dancer, which is a very beautiful card. It's very beautiful. Circuitous Root. Perception. I don't know how to say that word. Saved my life. But everything is going in cycles. Okay, so things are always changing. Your perception might be that things are always the same. Nothing's changing. Why is nothing changing? It's changing. It's just changing into the same thing over and over again. Change is inevitable. Change is always happening. So if there is something seemingly stuck, you have to step out of that spiral. You have to step out of that circle. You have to shift. So there could be something that you were able to do. And sometimes it's like, but I'm doing all that I can. I'm putting all my effort into this and nothing is happening. Nothing's working. Maybe it is the creative space that you need to get into, because when you're in a creative space, you don't have to worry about the problem or getting to where you want to go and not sure how you're going to get there. You sit in a creative space, you are in a place full of potential. You are pulling on the energy of the universe. It is flowing through you. It is creating out into the world. There's an energy that will come with that. Oh, and look at that. I pulled one last card. I love it. The fire prince for my fire signs. Yay, check you out. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so optimism and aggression. I like to say this often because it's always applicable. Fire gets shit done, but it can also burn shit down. So be careful. Be careful with that fire energy that you carry so beautifully. That energy that you are so comfortable in. That energy gets things done. But you are responsible for keeping it in check, for stoking that fire, for making sure the fire doesn't get out of control, and in harnessing the energy of fire. Now that is righteous anger. Now there's aggression. There's the positive and the negative, but you can always bring it into a good space. So sometimes you're right to be angry, but that doesn't mean you go break a bunch of shit. You can express that anger and you can release that anger. You don't have to destroy things. So this is a reminder of the beauty that is within you as a fire sign, and the beauty of having that element as your home. Okay, but you have got to learn, remember, continue, depending on who you are, to take care of yourself in that fire energy. And also because fires burn, ones that burn really big and fast, and they lose energy very quick. Okay, so sometimes a slow burn is better. Very symbolic. Okay, so last part here. I hope that works for you, that you understand the message. I appreciate if you like, share, and subscribe where you see fit. This again is for March for fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Lastly, whoa, no, we're not doing that. Sorry, talking to my cards. I haven't used this deck in a while, so they're a little frisky. So this is the universe has your back deck. We're just gonna end it out on this message from the universe. All right, here we go. There it is. There it is. Okay. Wow, that's deep. Joy is the ultimate creator. Joy is the ultimate creator. Okay, so back to the creativity. Okay, joy is the ultimate creator. What you strum up, the energy you strum up in a creative space is pure joy, and it is beautiful, and it creates, it manifests, it can be used for your advantage. Also, lastly, when you are in a creative space, you're also getting out of your own way. You're no longer stuck in your thoughts of what you don't have, what you lost. You aren't seeing what's being brought to you. But when you're in a creative space, then you actually are able to allow the good to come in because you have taken your mind off of it. You are then surrendering your free will because you're like, okay, I'm not going to focus on that right now because there's nothing I can do about it. And then you go into your creative space and the divine blessings rush in. So I leave you with that. Allow the divine blessings to rush in. That is what is going to help you. Joy is the ultimate creator. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.